Yo guys, welcome back to the channel. Glad you're here. Today's video, I'm just going to be talking about my first impressions of the game Menace. As you know, those were my first few videos on the channel. I really enjoyed playing the demo, so I just want to kind of go through and after having a decent amount of hours in the game, just kind of give you my first impressions of the game. So I've been waiting for this, or waiting to get my hands on the demo since I saw creators playing the game. You know, there were some people that got early access to the demo, and from what I saw, I was immediately hooked. So today I'm just going to give my kind of raw first impressions after finishing the demo and playing through it a few times, and we'll talk about the visuals, the gameplay flow, and just kind of what stood out compared to other tactical games in the genre, like XCOM, like Xenonauts, things like that. So let's get into first. I guess we'll talk about the visuals and everything, and kind of just the overall presentation. Um, I like the graphics. I like the style of the game. It has a, at least from the demo, I can see that it has a, had a modern sci-fi feel, but nothing completely over the top. You know, it was definitely grounded in reality. The art style is, pretty realistic. And as far as the other visuals, like the UI was clean, in my opinion, whether it came to the initial main menu or, the mission planning screen, or even just the tactical battles themselves. The UI was very clean, um, clear to read, so no complaints there. As far as the atmosphere, the lighting, and everything, so in this demo, we only got one um, environment, which was the desert. So all the missions took place on a desert, even though it was I think, somewhat procedurally generated. I did notice a couple of the maps in the end, or for the different mission types, were the same, but there was lots of variety as well. So you could definitely see the procedural generation at work. Not all the maps were exactly the same, and you can tell that by the mission planning screen as well. They're all laid out differently. The covers in different places, so it gives you a lot of variety in that regard. As far as animations and things like that, everything was pretty smooth. I do like some minor details, like as such as when you're aiming at an enemy, or maybe you're choosing an enemy to aim at, you can see your squad follow your cursor around, or if you're controlling the vehicle, your turret will move to follow your cursor. So little details like that are cool. Also, when you or the enemy positions your units, or positions their units, your own units or the enemy units will kind of reposition within their tile to face the direction of a new threat. So that's something, just a cool detail that's very small, but something that you'll notice. Also, I love the voice acting in the game. Uh, Very solid. All the characters have their own different and unique kind of styles and, lines, obviously. So the voice acting was very good. I enjoyed that, and I enjoyed the banter between the different characters as well. Let's move on and talk about the gameplay flow, and it's just some of the mechanics. Um, Menace is a turn-based strategy game, but it does some things differently than other games within the genre. Um, so each unit uh, of your faction or force, or whatever you want to call it, they move one at a time. So you move, and then the enemy faction moves, or the civilian faction moves if there's a civilian faction in certain missions, right? So you move one unit at a time, and once you select a unit and once you use at least one action point for that unit, you're locked in to using that unit for that turn, right? So that's how that works. It's much different to games, and I'm going to draw a lot of comparisons to games like XCOM and whatnot, with it being a turn-based strategy game. In XCOM, right, you have your turn, all your troops move within that same turn, Um, obviously, taking into account if there's any sort of reaction fire from the enemy or something like that, or an overwatch shot or something like that. But in those games, you're controlling all your troops at one time, or in the same turn, I should say. So troops 1 through 6 move on the same turn. In Menace, it's different because Soldier 1, or, Group 1 will move, then the enemy moves, then your second soldier, second group moves. So it's very different in that regard, and I like it. Another thing is there's no, Overwatch mechanic. A lot of times in games like XCOM, Overwatch can get a little maybe overpowered, I would say. And you can get into a lot of situations where you're just alpha striking. It can kind of take away a bit of the tactics. I like how Menace does that. There's no Overwatch, but you're moving a turn at a time. So instead of reacting on like an Overwatch shot, say an enemy moves, now it's your turn again. Now you can move and react to what that enemy just did. So there's a lot of planning involved, but also changing of plans based on what an enemy might do in a particular situation. So I like that take on things, and I like different mechanics and not necessarily having an Overwatch system. And I like how the turns kind of stagger from you to the enemy to a third faction or what have you. One thing I really like about Menace is the game does a good job of letting multiple play styles work, right? Depending on what you do. If you want to have several smaller squads, you can do that. That is still a viable option. Or if you want to load up and have, 2 full squads with 8 men in it each, you can do that. Or if you want them to be 4 or 5 troops in each but have 4 or 5 squads, you can do that as well. The way the supply system works and everything, it gives you a lot of leeway and a lot of different strategies that you can employ, right? One person might use all 6 of the squad leaders in their mission and load them out in different ways, right? I saw a video of someone who kind of wanted to challenge themselves, so they only used 2 fully maxed out squads with 8 squaddies in each squad plus the squad leader, right? And they had success with that too. So there's different play styles that can be viable. There's no sort of one meta strategy that, if you do this, you're ultimately gonna win, so I like that variety, and I like the encouragement of trying different things. It's great. The last thing I'll really touch on is just the overall feel of the game. This was a very well fleshed out demo. The amount of replayability in this demo is huge. There's a bunch of different mission types. So even if you have a playthrough where you're doing 3 different missions, you're not gonna hit all of the different mission types. So it encourages replaying the demo over, and the fact that there's so many different strategies that you can utilize within the demo is huge. This is one of the most well done demos I've seen of a game in a while, if I do say so myself. But overall, the controls and everything, the way the missions, so everything's smooth. The camera movement is smooth. As I mentioned earlier, the UI is good. The way the tile system looks, and it's clear. The animations are good. When you zoom in, uh, good quality there. And the mission layout and designs, everything makes sense. Um, Even though there is a deal of procedural generation, nothing looks out of place or random. So they did a very good job with that. Um, the maps look good. Like I said, we only got the desert biome, but again, it looks very good. I'm excited for more options in that regard when the game comes to early access. Um, but all of the mechanics are there in terms of the tactical battles. Obviously, the strategic layer is something that we didn't have in this demo. I'm looking forward to getting my hands on that when the game comes out in early access. But for what we got in terms of the demo, what we were able to do, like I said, very solid demo, lots of replay value, and the game overall just it felt good. Like if I had to give it a rating on a scale of 1 to 10, I mean, I'm going 9 or 10. Uh, I've had a lot of fun. I played the demo through at least 3 full times. And then I did a test run before. I did a couple missions. So, yeah, I've got a decent amount of hours in just this demo alone. And it hasn't gotten stale to me yet. Like, I would still keep playing it at this point. So, they've done well in terms of making a kind of addictive strategy game to the point where even the demo has people coming back for more. The demo I should say has been out for a couple weeks now, and people are still uploading content on it. It's that good. So, honestly, I really don't have any criticisms. At this point, I didn't really run into bugs. Everything was well fleshed out, so I really don't have any criticisms of the demo. I'm just ready for more. Early access should be February. That they should be releasing the game in early access. So I'm really looking forward to that. I'm definitely going to be covering that on the channel. I'm excited for that. But yeah, so after my time in the game, man, Menace feels like a tactical blend of games like XCOM, Xenonauts, Phoenix Point might be another one. Very similar to that kind of style of just turn-based strategy, but with its own flavor. The turn system and the pacing really makes it stand out. And I think it has the opportunity to really be one of a kind, I'll be honest. So I'm excited to see what comes next. I'm excited for early access in February. And yeah, those are just my first thoughts on the game and my initial impressions. I probably will be doing a video on just the beginner tips and tricks for people who are just might be getting into the game for the first time. So look out for that video coming soon. But other than that, thanks for watching. This was my first impressions of the game. I've really enjoyed it. So thanks for being here. And, look for a little bit more content of this game. Look for the beginner, tips and tricks video. And then maybe I'll do another playthrough. Maybe I'll upload it, maybe not, but we'll see. But there definitely will be a little bit more content for the game coming. And then I'll probably be starting my Xenonauts 2 series soon. So be on the lookout for that as well. Other than that, thanks for being here, guys, and I will catch you in the next video. Peace.